Hello guys and welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to be going over my first impressions over the new Guardian Simba. I've already gone over the first impressions for the Guardian Wally. If you want to see that video, just press my channel and you can check that video out through there. So Simba, he looks very interesting. He basically looks like the other side of Scar. He's all about the light, Scar is all about the darkness. In terms of his stats, they're all pretty high, and if you compare it to Wally, he's high in every single aspect apart from focus, where Wally is higher by 900. So let's just move on to his core ability. So he's immune to stun, which is pretty interesting. It may prove to be something that is useful when he's a defender, and it can be annoying when you're against him. So Simba resists 30% of basic and heavy attacks damage from melee and tank enemies. This automatically means that he is taking less damage than any other Guardian in the game, which is pretty insane. And this is a flat 30%, so it does not matter. You can't alter this ability, you can't reduce it in any way, and you can't even remove it. So it's pretty good. So now moving on to his special ability, Simba deals 400% damage to enemies in front of him, then gains an indestructible buff and lures all enemies for 5 seconds. That is pretty good. There'll be a 10 seconds where he isn't indestructible and he isn't lured. This lure is pretty good, and especially with indestructible, is very good when you're punching up, just to take off the heat of your other allies and allow them to heal, and that does look good. Now while Simba's lure is active, he's immune to knockback. That's also good, except from special abilities. That's to be expected, and gains 15% armor when hit by a heavy attack or special ability from a melee or tank enemy. Okay, that is interesting. So possibly what you may want to do is you may want to go by a bunch of enemies, apply your special ability, make sure that so then you get both the indestructible buff and the lore buff, and then you just stand still and let yourself get hit. And you'll probably get hit multiple times. You want to get hit by heavy attacks, obviously. So you may just want to let yourself get hit and then gain a bunch of armor. It would be very overpowered if it was basic attacks, but that would have been too overpowered. So you just want to get hit by heavy attacks while you're obviously only when you're indestructible, because then you'll be taking damage for no reason, because you'll be losing health to gain armor, which makes no sense. And when his lore expires, Simba knocks back all enemies in a circle around him, which is amazing, because then if you just let all the enemies around you hit, when the indestructible buff expires, the lore will also expire, and then everyone around you is exploded, so you don't need to worry about accidentally getting hit one time. All that works very well together. Now moving on to his signature ability, Simba deals 200% damage to enemies knocked back by his special ability. That's pretty weak, to be honest, but I guess he is a tank, to be fair. Oh wait, this is additional damage. Okay, no, yeah, that is pretty good actually. When hit by a melee or tank enemy while the lore is active, Simba also gains a 20% attack buff. Alright, so this is basic attacks, and also basically all you want to do when using Simba is use your special ability and let yourself get hit. That's pretty much all you gotta do. Then you'll get an attack buff as well as getting a bunch of armor, which is pretty good. So now let's move on to his talents. His basic talents, he grants 20% defense, standard, 20% attack, another standard talent. Now let's move on to his first advanced. When an enemy is attacking Simba or other allies, when an enemy is attacking Simba, other allies' basic and heavy attacks deal an additional 50% damage. That is a pretty confusing talent, because what constitutes an enemy attacking Simba? But yeah, I think that just is a kind of a support mechanic that gives his allies more damage. When Simba gains 50% armor at the start of an encounter, which is very good in dungeons. Yeah, that's going to be very helpful. And the amount of armor Simba gains from his special ability is increased by an additional 10%. That's at max level, obviously. So at max level, you'll be gaining 25%. Yeah, 25% armor, as well as 50% armor from every heavy attack or special ability attack you tank. Right? I think that was his. Yeah, that was his second advanced talent. Let's move on to his third. When Simba law expires, melee and tank guardians adjacent to Simba become dizzy for 8 seconds if they are not already dizzy, reducing the chance of landing a basic and heavy attack against other allies by 50%. This is pretty good because essentially all you're doing is lowering all the enemies to you, then they'll be blown to wherever they go, and then Simba can then just focus on tanking one enemy, and then your other allies are then able to tank even more hits because the enemies will be missing their attacks. Right, that is a definite talent that I'll be using when I use Simba. Each time Simba is hit by an attack from a melee or tank enemy while his law is active, all allies gain 10% armor. Right, that's interesting. I think I'm going to use the last 3 talents, so soul shielding, blinding lights, and alluring vanguard. Out of the 2 guardians, I'm actually more excited about Scar, to be honest. Not Scar, sorry, Simba. He's got a goofball, his royalty is a leader, so he's going to be able to be useful in 2 towers. Let's see, Wallies, he'll be useful in 2 towers, no, not 1 tower, sorry. Yeah, I'll probably go with Simba if I'm gonna have to pick. He's got better stats, and I'm really liking his abilities. But thank you for watching. That was my first impression. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you